Welcome to the show. This will Be Yourself show, and I am very happy to be back here almost a week late since our last week. And personally, recovering on New Year's Eve, I ended up working all of these, but I think we all are in some degree. Important to note that today's recording date is January 3rd of 2016, so what we say on today's show happened on or before this day. So that's important to note. And let's get right into it. I'm excited to do this show today because I have a friend with me. And I'm 5'8". I'm about 270 pounds. I'm a pretty big. How are you?
I am 3'6".
3'6".
Yes,
wow.
I am.
And ladies and gentlemen, this is Crystal Eggers.
Hello.
And I am happy to have you today because we want to talk about and learn about your community today.
Happy to be here and happy to talk about it.
All right, let's get right into it. So there's misconceptions, I think, with little people.
Yes.
And from my research, what I was doing, I noticed that there's is it a disease? Is that right?
No, it's definitely not a disease. Dwarfism is caused by a genetic mutation. It happens at conception. There are, I believe, over 300 different types of dwarfisms out there. And depending on the type, it really, like for my type is called dystrophic dysplasia. It's a recessive gene, and both mother and my father carry the gene. And in order for me to be born the way I was born, and for each dwarfism, it's different as to who had to carry the gene. Is it a dominant gene? Is it a recessive gene? There are way too many to even dive into the genetics. But
that's just amazing to think.
Right, and it's definitely not because it's not something here.
Especially nowadays, you have people talking about how let's create the perfect child.
Right.
Right. And I've got very mixed opinions on that, but that's like a whole other show topic.
Yes.
Yeah, but we're not here to talk about that today. And the thing that's interesting is that you don't have one of those common forms of dwarfism.
Right. I believe mine is the third or fourth most common type. The most common type is actually called achondroplasia. They are the ones like, for instance, someone would be Peter Dinklage, Game of Thrones. He has achondroplasia. That is a dominant dwarfism, dominant gene. I'm married to an exercise woman, and they have a daughter together, and he does not have achondroplasia. With each of them, your percentages on whether you're going to have with dwarfism or not, it varies from dwarfism.
Right, like I was seeing with the achondroplasia is something like 4 to 15 out of every 100,000 births. That is mind-blowing to me. It really is.
Yeah.
Yet, we're going to talk about the other two. The Little People of America Association has 68 members in 3 different chapters. And, so it's all around us. You are all here. And one thing I did get to say to you is I know your husband.
Yes.
And he is quite tall.
Oh, yes. My husband is 6'2".
That is amazing to me.
I actually joke sometimes if you're 6'3", actually joke that we are literally the opposite because I'm 3'3". He's 6'2".
And you're 3'6". He could afford a basketball team.
He would actually be on a basketball team, I think. But we are different in so many ways. But we love each other. We fell in love, and we've been married 10.5 years.
That's awesome. Now. That's really awesome. Congratulations on that, by the way.
Thank you.
And you have a daughter as well.
I do. We gave birth to a beautiful girl in August of 2013, and so she's almost 2.5, and her name is Farrah. That's like Farrah Fawcett, Sarah Jessica Parker. And a question that I got a lot when I was pregnant with her was, do you know if your child's going to person? And because I know about my particular person, which it's a recessive gene, the only way that Eric, my husband's name, his name is Eric, the only way for Eric to have a child with my dwarfism is if he also carried that recessive gene.
Oh, wow.
Now, it's not like you can just tell somebody.
Right.
That person gene.
That guy down the street there has
right.
gene, you know?
But it was highly unlikely, not impossible, but highly unlikely. And we opted not to have genetics. And I had a pretty good, I was like 99.9% sure that our child was not going to be a listen. And she's not. She'll probably be taller than next week.
So she's already tall as you, that she's running around?
She's about 2 miles.
Okay.
But, something telling me, what are you going to do? She's bigger than you. I was like, what am I supposed to say to her? I guess I'll just put her up because I won't be able to handle her anymore.
It's for you to do whatever it does to her kids.
I'm a mother. I'm always going to, she's always going to see me as an authority figure in her life. And, I'm her to have morals and respect for people. Mm-hmm. And, she's not going to get away with things when she's naughty. She only does it now. And, she's going to be a very diverse little girl. I like for her to be exposed to all different kinds of people, not just little people. For the last years, for her birthdays or Christmases, people ask me, what should we get Farrah for Christmas for her birthday? And, I'm really interested in her having black baby dolls, have Asian baby dolls. And
that's really awesome that you're so open for her to explore different communities as well as different genders, because we have our 24/7 online forum on Facebook. I've often say it's an ask us that I believe that we should have education as early as we can.
I agree.
It's important that if these kids learn these things at such an age, when you have kids nowadays who are determining their own identity as early as 2-3 years old. It's important to give them that healthy environment, so that they explore different people as a person. And, that's, something we could talk about on another show.
Yeah.
But I'd say that's awesome that you're open to that as a mother. Like, we need more mothers like that.
Absolutely. Just so, that the LGBT people who are listening, not all other races, but I'm fine. She wants to play with trust or play a sport that is quote considered, for male. I want her to let her gender hold her back from anything.
Right, you shouldn't.
No, just because you're a girl does not mean that you can't play basketball, you can't play baseball.
Or you can't drive a truck, or,
you can't drive a truck, you
Yeah.
can't be president, it's just, I don't want her to be open in that sense, and I want her comfortable. People are different.
Right, and, it's important, like you said, just to be open. I call this the Be Yourself show because we need to be comfortable with being who we are in the crazy society that we have today,
I feel like it's very important because being a mother with dwarfism, I have a very important responsibility to raise my child to be accepting of all people, whether you're gay, straight, transgender, you're another race, another religion. It's important to me to raise her tolerant of that don't necessarily look like her, people that don't necessarily live like her.
Exactly, because there's so many different diversities of people all around, and that's one of my main purposes of doing the Be Yourself show. As the host, my name, by the way, if I didn't say that, is Jess Katzenmeyer. I'm transgender, and I want to up the world to many different news that we may not know about. And when I first met you have such an outgoing personality. You're very friendly.
Thank you.
I'm like, you'd be great on a show like this because I really want to open to your community's all about. Mm-hmm. And You have an organization with its own called LPA. We're not talking about the Ladies Professional Golfers Tour. No, that's LPDA. This is LPA. This is...
Right. People of America.
Yes.
I'm a live member.
Okay.
I've been member as long as I can remember. I was adopted by parents who both have dwarfism. My mother passed away, but my father's, that my mom had achondroplasia, dwarfism, which we talked about earlier, so one was common type. Mm-hmm. My father has pseudoachondroplasia, which is similar to achondroplasia, but they have their own difference as well. I believe might be the second common type of dwarfism. I also have a brother who they adopted before they adopted me. His name is Christopher. Mm-hmm. He's 4 years older than me, and he has it's a really long diagnosis, but it's a spondyloepiphyseal dysplasia.
Oh, what is? Okay, say that. Here's the challenge for the audience. Say that.
The easy way is SE.
Okay.
He has dwarfism.
All right.
So, I was raised by LP parents. That's what we call each other. We just say LP.
Okay.
So I was raised by LP parents in Houston, Texas, and my parents divorced when I was a baby. And so we were raised by our mother. And I forgot where I was going.
Let me
Little People of America.
Oh,
They are members of Little People of America. So I have always been involved at conventions each year. The convention is a different state. The last one was in St. Louis. I didn't get to attend because I have a toddler. She's not the easiest to travel with, just one day.
One day, she'll let me, right?
Right.
But I was going to ask you, how is your relationship with your parents? Were you guys really close? Because a lot of times I feel like certain communities can be tight-knit with other people with their communities. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm trying to say here? But yeah, I want to explore more into your relationship with your parents and how that...
Well, like I said, we were by our mom mostly. They divorced and my dad went to another state and remarried. So it was really just my mom, my brother, myself. And she raised us to be very independent. She's a little person herself, so she was not going to carry us around everywhere we had to walk. And
learn the hard way, right?
Well, it was actually a good thing because of independence. Mm-hmm. And something that I've noticed a lot, other little people who are raised by people of average height, is that they they carry around a lot. Their parents wanted to help them with everything. They're very overprotective. That's something that I'm very grateful that, we weren't raised that way. We were raised, well, if you get hungry, go make yourself a sandwich. Mm-hmm. So, we were raised to really be self-sufficient. And our relationship with mom was, she passed away when I was 15. But I was going through the normal teenage stuff. Mom missing me.
Yeah.
I had the normal arguments that moms and teenage daughters have. My brother and I, we only saw our dad about once a year, and that was for Christmas. We would fly into Texas, and we would spend Christmas with him. And then, like I said, I passed away when I was 15, and my brother and I actually went and lived with my aunt and uncle, my uncle being my mom's brother.
Okay.
Lived with them for a couple of years. And then I went to live with my father senior year of high school. He was living in Connecticut at the time. And so I spent my senior year of high school living with him and his wife, my stepmom. My stepmom also being a little person. And, unfortunately, I don't have a close relationship with my dad anymore. That's not even really a topic for that really pertains to the show. But he's not a part of my life. He's not a part of my daughter's life. He still has a relationship with that, which I'm glad. I'm really glad. But my mom was my world, and she would get in the car. She drove with pedal extensions. And so I always want people to drive because my mom is able to drive. She's a little person. I'm a little person. She's able to drive. I'll be able to drive. And that's what I did. After my mom passed away, I went and lived with my aunt and uncle. And we got me into bed. My uncle with me and hooked up my extension pedals to the car.
It's amazing to hear you talk about, like, just daily stuff average adults do, driving to go to the store, driving to go to work.
Stuff that you don't even think about.
Right, that could be a challenge. Like, even just cooking your own, because those stoves are probably about as high as this desk is right here. This is probably about a good 3 feet off the ground, I'm guessing.
Usually higher.
Yeah.
I have a step stool in my kitchen. It gets kicked around quite a bit.
I can only imagine, yeah.
I have a family to cook for. I have dishes to take care of. And, we adapt. We don't expect the world to accommodate us in every way. When we go to McDonald's, we walk in and order, the counter is right there at eye level to us. We deal with it.
Right.
Switches high, you deal with it.
Right.
A lot of buildings are not handicap accessible. You deal with it.
And amazing how much more independent you become because of having to deal with all the various challenges. And even I'm thinking even buying clothes.
A lot of
clothes,
tailoring.
Yeah, exactly. Like to tailoring, most clothes that size is geared to children.
Well, actually, that's a common misconception that people assume that because you're so short that you probably shop in the kids section. Well, I have breasts and I have hips, and this body is not going to be able to squeeze into a girl's pair of jeans. It's just not happening. I have to shop in the ladies section and the women's section. And pants are too long, you get them shortened. Sleeves are too, you get them shortened. So a dress skirt is gotta wait. You can't wear it yet. You gotta wait. Take it somewhere and get it tailored. Do it yourself. You buy an outfit, really excited, but you don't get to wear it right away. Yeah.
I imagine whereas most people are like, "Hey, I want to try this on in the store. You see, it looks good or whatever," and you have to get it tailored.
Right. Try it on in the store. Just to make sure that it's the right size for your hips and your waist,
right.
your shoulders and all that. So you get an idea if it fits that way, but you still take them in to get hemmed up, do it yourself, and it can be a pain. And sometimes there are very few times it's happened, but there are a few times where I've gone into a store and found something actually right off the rack. Like a pair of capri pants would be regular pants on me. That's very exciting.
So I'd be like, yes, I finally found it.
Yeah, I don't have hay or spend the time to get this hemmed up.
Jeez, that's got, thinking about that too, even the cost of it, because, exploring when it's closed, it can be expensive. Being a big person myself, we have our own challenge because I'm really very plus size. I'm probably about a size 22, 24, right around that. There's only certain stores that carry that looks good in those sizes.
Right.
But then we're changing things to, for you want to look good, you want to look professional.
Right.
Or,
sexy.
Yeah.
I don't want to look like I'm being swallowed or I've shrunk in some clothes.
Right. You want to look like, you want to look your age, you want to look sexy, you want to look good for your husband,
Exactly. Yeah. And I feel like you look good, then you feel good when you go out.
Right. Yeah, I know the feeling. And just that challenge alone, just finding the right clothes and then getting it tailored and spending that money to first off the clothes, then get tailored.
Yeah. Yeah, being a little person is not cheap.
Oh gosh, I can only imagine.
Some little people actually have their houses modified for them. They have counters brought down. They will have short toilets. They have all of the light switches moved down. And that's great for them. My husband is 6'2". I can't expect him to be sitting on his knees making himself an omelet.
Or leaning over to get through doorways.
You gotta change doorways.
Yeah.
But basically, you just want to make it where you can reach everything.
Right.
Doorways. Obviously, I wouldn't want to change doorway because I have friends that come over. I want them to have to crawl into my house.
Yeah, right. Like, hey, like you're crawling into your house.
Yeah, but I mean,
you feel like you're in Alice in Wonderland.
Exactly, certain things. Just to make your life easier, it's not difficult to walk a doorway that's a regular doorway, but it can be difficult if your counter is at your chin. I don't want to be standing there frying an egg.
Right, you're frying something in a frying pan, you get the oil popping over in your face, like, ow, ow, ow.
Yeah, it would be fun. So,
no.
A lot of people, especially when a majority of the people in the family are little people, like the husband and the wife, who are little people, they'll get their house scaled down, things like that.
I can imagine the cost of that.
That is, not something that insurance is going to cover.
Right, because, especially if you're buying a house from somebody else, you're not like building it, then you have to cut it to
fit you.
Right. And then if you had already customized that house,
and you want to sell it, you have to change it all back. I know people who've had to do that.
Yeah, because if I'm walking up and see everything done, I'm like,
this isn't going to work for me.
This isn't work for me. Right. I'm just looking at the reality of it,
Yeah, exactly.
So, but definitely it's challenging. Learning about this is to me because I think it's eye-opening, and I hope it's eye-opening for the audience that's listening to this as well, too.
I hope so. I mean, these are things that a lot of people don't think about, or there are things, these are things that people wonder about and don't know if it's okay to ask the questions. Don't know anybody who's a little person, so they just don't know. These are things that people are curious about. What do you do your clothes? How do you, do your laundry and things like that?
Yeah, and see, like, I'm the type of person being transgender. I'm as you are. Ask me the questions. I don't care. I'm not going to get offended.
Right.
I'd rather have somebody know the truth. Personal questions. I don't care.
Yeah.
Anything. That's why I started the forum called #AskUs on Facebook. It's for that purpose.
Yeah.
And I think that's really awesome that you're that way too. So, ready?
Ready.
And I think this show's going so well. So I'm loving the stories that you're telling me and about just hearing what it's like, just daily life. So it's fascinating.
I'm happy to share.
Yeah, it's fascinating to me, and I hope it's just as fascinating to listening too. I think I said that already, but that's where I'm here. Is I want this to learning experience, and help your community as well to get this information out to the general public. Just so that there's no more of these misconceptions. So we have mainstream acceptance. So what we're gonna do now is I'm gonna break. This is the Year Stuff Show. We're going to take a quick little break to thank our sponsors, which we don't have any yet, but thank our sponsors, and we'll get back into it. This is the show, and I'm your host, Jess Katzmeyer. And welcome back. We are back at Your Stuff Show. I am your host, Jess Katzmeyer, and I'm happy to have Crystal Eggers on the show with me, who is telling us all about the little people of America. And I'm not talking about just the group itself, I'm talking about the people in general. And we spent most of the first half talking, kind of introduce the topic, talk about the lifestyle of it. But some of this part of the show is, I want to ask, how would you feel the perceptions of the little people of America have changed, especially throughout the media over the years? With the transgender community, there's definitely been a resurgence of mainstream acceptance, especially this year with Caitlyn Jenner, Vern Cut on Orange is the New Black. I can go on.
Yeah.
Tell me what you feel, how the media has changed, or it has changed.
You know what? It has changed, but we still have a long way to go. With the exception of actors like Peter Dinklage in Game of Thrones, a lot of times when you see people on TV, they're portrayed as jokes. They're the butt of jokes, being made fun of. They're not do it. Really, a lot of the times you see little people on television, they're doing something ridiculous. They're being picked up and tossed across the room, or they are pretending to be a baby, like, Man on Jackass.
Yeah, I've seen that show several times, and I think it's horrible, though, that they're doing this because it's sending out a very bad misconception of your community. I mean, you are too.
Yeah, and it's very comfortable for me to see things like that on television. And it just promotes the stereotype that little people are not to be taken seriously, that almost like objects, not human with feelings, and so that's always been an issue for me. The M word on television, and for people who don't know what I'm talking about when I say M word, I'm talking about the word midget. It's a very taboo word for me, but I hear it on television all the time, and it's basically a word that started being used to refer to little people back when they had the circus freaks, back when little people, the only way that they could find was to join the circus and be of entertainment to the public.
I guess it's really degrading.
It's
to community.
It's very degrading.
And I think it really stigmatizes.
It does.
Little people. It's just like in the transgender community, like one of the big issues within our, we talked about it last show, is doing simple things like use the bathroom.
Right.
And you have all these ridiculous laws being passed and are being proposed in different states that, you can't use this bathroom, you have to use this bathroom, blah, blah, blah. And I see this on TV with little people being thrown in the room. Or, it's really...
Or just acting a fool,
Yeah.
Little people really, especially in the entertainment industry, they want to be taken seriously as actors, but people don't want to hire based on their talent. They are hired as props.
Wow, that's amazing to me, because I think of Austin Powers. There's a huge in the second and third movie of the Austin Powers series.
I would say that I like movies, but there were certain scenes that Furniture was in that really made me feel uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm.
And for instance, I can't remember. I believe it was the third one? I don't remember, but there's a scene between Austin Powers and Mini-Me. And Mini-Me gets just thrown out of the room numerous times. Mm-hmm. And there's a scene where he's singing a baby carrier, and like a baby would.
You're definitely not a baby.
Right. And, I'm a 34-year-old. I am a mother. I want to be respected.
Right.
I don't want to be the buttocks.
Right. That's just the same way as we feel in the transgender community. I want to get more into how the little people of America have their very own LGBT community.
They do?
Yeah.
It is called... my friend Kate actually put this together. And it is called Rainbow Social. And basically within the LPA, they have the conventions that they have each year, which, like I said earlier, they have them in different states every year. But at the convention, they have what they call a Rainbow Social. And this is to show support to our own LGBT within our community.
Right, because I think it's amazing how we face many of the same issues. Discrimination at many different levels. Job discrimination.
Right.
I mean, how is it going to do a job interview? Mm-hmm. Because it's the same way as a transgender woman go to a job interview.
Right. There have been numerous jobs that I've applied to, and I'll get a call back. They're very interested in me, very enthusiastic about meeting with me. They like my resume, and they interview me. Mm-hmm. And I go in to the interview, and their whole demeanor has changed the moment that they see me.
That's just horrible.
And it's one of those things. It's not like they're going to cry out and say, "Well, we're not going to hire you because you're a little person." it's very difficult to prove job discrimination. But when you live your whole life as a person, you become very in tune with the vibes people put off. You tell when someone is uncomfortable to you.
Mm-hmm.
You tell they don't want to make eye contact with you. Very short yes and no answers. They seem nervous. And I've said this before, if I'm on a job interview and I'm interviewing to be hired for a job, the person interviewing should not be nervous.
Right.
I should be the one who's nervous.
Yeah, but
there are so many jobs that I've interviewed for. When I walk out, I'm like, I know I'm not going to get it.
Yeah.
I just know I'm not going to get it. And something that I believe helped me, though, the last couple of jobs, right now I'm a stay-at-home mom, but the last couple of jobs that I did have, when I spoke to them on the phone, said, I just want you to know that I am a little person before I come in. Just because I just would, I want everybody to be comfortable. I just want you to know respect. And I got those jobs.
That's really awesome, though.
Yeah.
See, that's another thing, too, is like housing discrimination faces the transgender community. Violence is a big issue with it, the transgender community with. Remember the last number here, 21 people were murdered this year.
Yeah.
It was a record high. And that's sending alarming numbers even to the capital in Washington.
Right.
And what I want to ask is, is there a lot of activism involved here within your community of getting things passed to help you out?
There was a school, I believe I don't know the name of the high school, but it was in, I think it was St. Louis, Missouri, because it was the last mission that LPA held in St. Louis, and I believe that some protesting happened outside of a high school because their mascot's name is Midget. They are known as the Midgets.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
And please don't quote me, I cannot remember the name of the school. I Google midget mascot or something, high school midget mascot, something like that. It would bring school. But they've been called the midgets for years and years. And it started out because their teams would make fun of them because they were slur or something like that. And so they decided to be proud of that and call themselves the midgets. And now, I don't know about you, but myself as a little person, or if I had a child who was a little person, I wouldn't want my child going to that school. I wouldn't want to go to that school.
Yeah, I can only imagine, even as a kid, to feel very degrading just to step into the school and you're like, we're midgets, and you're...
And they have school pride, I'll give them that. I have a school elite. But, just like there are other words in our society that should be removed from our vocabulary, the N word, the R word.
Even the transgender community, the tranny is viewed as derogatory or a slur, or even transsexual. And some people are not with that word.
Right, because it doesn't actually have anything to do with your sexuality. Right. Am I correct on that?
Right, that is correct. I view myself as transgendered. That your identity doesn't match your birth. That's what the word transgender means.
Right.
And so what kind of words are acceptable to call little people of America?
Well, most of us are okay with dwarf, person, dwarfism, little person, people. But in the end, we just call our names. And my name's Crystal. Please call me Crystal.
Right. You introduce yourself as...
Right. I know, and I don't shake your hand and say, hi, I'm dwarfism. How are you? No, my name is Crystal. But, if you want to refer to our condition specifically, it's person with person. It's little person. Midget. No matter how many times you hear on television, some people somehow, for whatever reason, are okay being called a midget. But I can pretty comfortably say a good 90% of us don't appreciate it.
I do, definitely. I just ask you that just so people know the safe way to refer to a little as. Obviously, if I introduce you as Jess, hey, hi, I'm Jess, nice to meet you. I want to be called that.
Right.
It's, I think that's just a matter of respect. That's a respect issue.
Right. And the problem is that a lot of people don't have respect. There are so many people out there who actually do know that word midget is a very derogatory word, and they use it anyway because they're just not nice people.
Right, or even like the F word and the LGBT or various other words. You still hear people use those, when they're pissed off or whatever. And it's not okay to use those words. Please don't use those words.
Right, because it does send a message to whoever's hearing it that we're all okay with it. It sucks to say it, but especially when you go on television, you are, even without the desire, you're representing your community. And the way you allow people to treat you is sending a message across the world.
Right, and the reason why we're saying it from the program today is to prove the point. It's not okay to say it. We want to be educational.
Yes.
Because we're both of us, we're two very open people. We're open to talk about things where each of our communities that maybe the general mainstream of that community is not okay talking about.
Right.
And I think it's important to be open in order to bring these issues out. Because if we were to learn about anything, talk about these things, how are we going to have mainstream acceptance someday?
Right.
And that's both of us. We're both fighting for them. We have different paths of it.
Right. Little people didn't have the issue of fighting for marriage equality.
Right.
We didn't have that, but we have since the beginning fought for social acceptance and just general respect.
Right. That's the bottom line. Is respect. Our human right to who we are, but express who we are.
Right.
But we're born how we are as people, whether it's being transgender or being 3'6".
Right.
I'd
love to bring that up.
Yeah.
Because that's something that I use in an argument a lot of times whenever I'm talking to people about, people who believe that being gay is a choice or being transgender, it's not real. That's a choice. I did not stand and make the choice to be born with dwarfism. That is something that was out of my hands. And when you talk about choices, I get that I've talked before that people who are transgender have a choice in terms of whether they want to go through transition.
Right.
Whether or not they want to do hormone therapy, whether or not they want to have surgery.
That's most doctors would diagnose that as gender identity disorder or something along those lines.
I say that so many little people have to have corrective surgery. I've had about 17 operations on my legs, feet, and if I had to have another operation just about life, that would just like somebody who, a female was born in a male's body. You make the choice to go through your hormone therapy, and you're doing it to better your life. You're doing it so that you can feel happy in your own skin.
Right.
So that you reach your full potential.
Right, because we live once, and we need to be happy with who we are as people.
Right.
And who we're with. That's the most important things right there. Be happy with who you are and who you're with. Right. Another reason why I come to Be Yourself show, because I want people to feel free to be who they are. And we're basically doing is we're empowering people. We're giving people the knowledge of what we're all about. And I've used this word because I know, in the trans community, when you are taking steps to correct the gender identity disorder, you can use cure, but the thing with dwarfism, there is no cure.
There really isn't. For me, I feel that you use the word cure when you're talking about eliminating disease, a cure for cancer, a cure for AIDS.
Right.
Dwarfism is not a disease. There are operations that can be done to corrective surgeries. I was born with club feet, which means that my big toes were on the inside of my foot, not where they should have been. So I had corrective surgery for that. And where they should have been, had corrective surgery for that. These are all things that made it so that I can walk, so that I can get on, so that my life be as fulfilling as possible. And that's something that I really feel that a lot of little people actually have in common with people within the LGBT community, especially people who are transgender, is that when you decide to go your hormone therapy, you're doing this to better your life. You're doing this because you outside to match the inside.
Right, exactly. And thank you for explaining how, it's not a disease.
Right. You cure a disease. You cure an infection.
Right. And that's one thing I want people to understand who are listening, that it's definitely not a disease.
Right. The operation called limb lengthening surgery, a number of little people have gone through it. Basically, they break the legs and they break the arms and they add length. It's very painful process. It takes a long time. It's a controversial within the LPA. Some little people don't think that you should be doing that. Accept yourself for the way you are. So try to make yourself taller because it can give you a foot.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I have friends who have gone through the operation, and I probably respect that was a choice to do that. And it's not for me. It can be a risky operation, so you don't have this outcome. Sometimes you have a pain that doesn't go away.
It sounds painful.
It's painful.
Some
people see that as, quote, a cure, but it's not a cure because you cannot change genetics.
Exactly. You are who you are, born how you are.
Right, you're not like for instance, somebody with achondroplasia, they have dominant towards them. They go through the limb lengthening process and everything. People call that a cure, but that person could still, that is still a little person. They still have achondroplasia. You're never going to change that. You can't change genetics.
Right. Yeah, we are who we are. We're people. Right. I don't know how many times I'm going to make that point on this,
Right.
It's just fascinating hearing talk about.
Right, and I just see so many parallels between my community and your community. Just social acceptance, and just how, I use the example of I didn't choose to be born with dwarfism, and someone's gay. They don't choose to be born gay. Nobody chooses to be treated like crap.
Right, it's because you like people of the same sex.
Right.
So, because you like people of both sexes.
Right.
I'm pansexual. I love all genders.
Right, and that's hardwired into your brain.
Mm-hmm.
That your sexuality is something that it's hardwired into your brain in utero. You don't get to decide what turns you on.
What turns you on is what turns you on.
Right.
And it's amazing to think that even within your community, there is a lot of transgender people.
Actually, I don't know of any genders within the LPA, but statistically, there has to be some out there of them. But have many gay and lesbian and bisexual piece within the community. But statistically, there has to be. I don't know of it yet, but there has to be. Mm-hmm. Imagine that being born with dwarfism and being transgender has got to be. I can't even imagine the obstacles.
Yeah, I know. Just social acceptance alone, and the discrimination that we face every day as a community is ridiculous.
Because, I have LP friends who are gay, and they're like, I really feel like I'm asking a lot of people here to not only accept my dwarfism, but I'm also wanting to accept my sexuality.
Right. Why can't we just accept people who we are, not for what they are?
Because people are afraid of what they don't understand, and you have to strive every day to educate and enlighten people, because that is the only way. And
unfortunately, there's those closed-minded people who are out there who won't ever understand, no matter how many times you say something.
Right.
Like people on Facebook, I deal with it all the time. Maybe not as much as some other transgender, but I have dealt with it. Mm-hmm. And there's still people who call you by your old name, or still people who call you man, or... Yeah, it's just like...
Yeah.
And...
That's not you.
No. It's like, why can't we just be open enough and respect each other and be willing to learn about these things. That's the purpose of the show, is to learn.
Right, exactly.
And, it's just when people do that, you see all the time media, like politicians, what they say. It's like, oh, God.
Don't even get me started.
Yeah, right.
Don't even get me started.
But what are schools that you want to see, like, in terms of even politically or even like media perception? What would you like to see for future goals?
Well, I've already seen some of it. LJ is extremely proud of his role on HBO's Game of Thrones. I'd like to see more. I'd like to see more little people being given serious roles. It really doesn't have a whole lot to do with being a person with autism.
Yeah.
I'd like to see a show. I'd like to see a sitcom where a parent is a little person raising an average-sized kids or something like that. I mean, we have so many reality shows. We have Little People, Big World. We have The Little Couple. And those shows have been great in terms of enlightening people and really opening eyes to see that we're not different from you.
Right.
We may do things in a different way, but we wake up every morning and go to bed and we eat breakfast and we go to work and we raise our children.
You have to make a living just like everybody else. You have to make ends meet.
We do grocery and things like that. A lot of things that really are boring. I do laundry. I sit there and I fold laundry. And so Little People, Big World, Little Couple, those shows have been good. And then we have some other show like Little Witch. I actually really like that show. I watch it. A couple of friends are on it.
Okay.
And I like it. But then there's, like most reality shows, like for instance, The Real Housewives or something like that, there's drama.
Well, they always do that.
Yeah,
to try
it's very entertaining for people. And what could be more entertaining than 5-6 women fighting with each other?
What we were talking about earlier, when the media uses the way they use some of the little people in shows or movies, like throw across the room, are fighting or used for that kind of can be just very degrading.
Yes, it can be very detrimental.
Yeah.
We'll get in their heads these ideas. That's how we treat that. We're okay being treated that way, and not. I've had very degrading experiences out in public. From people who think it's okay to cup and pat you on the head, or somebody who comes up to you and says, "Can I pick you up?"
Wow, really? You've had people say that to you?
Yes.
Wow.
And are just coming up to you and saying, "Oh, I know somebody else who's a midget." It's, wow, you.
What was the first thing I did to you when I went to me? I hugged you just like I do with my other friends, right?
Right. And I was happy to meet you, and we just started right away.
Yeah, I mean, I met you, about 6 months ago.
On July 4th.
Yeah.
We went to fireworks.
Yeah. Well, I think a lot of the information that we have learned today, just hearing your story, is just very eye-opening to me. Yeah. It's eye-opening for the audience that's listening to it, because that's why I had you on. Like, when I met you, 6 months ago, I thought that we clicked really well. I thought that, we're talking back and forth, we have a flow going.
Yeah, I agree. I definitely felt we had good chemistry in our talks, and I definitely, on that you asked me to be on the show.
No, well, I appreciate it. It's really no problem at all. And I'm happy that we have, to talk about stuff like this. Maybe we have you again in the future.
I'd love to.
We really had a lot of fun just communicating how we are similar, how we're different.
Right.
Is there a resource out there that listening audience they want to, they can go to for more information about you?
The best resource would be to the website for Little People of America, and that can be found www.lpaonline.org.
Okay. Awesome.
Yeah, there's a lot of information there. The LPA is a nonprofit organization. It's established in 1957. And, it functions by just its members and people who have made donations to the organization as well.
And I don't know if I made this point earlier in the show or not, but they have over 1,600 members now.
Right.
And that's amazing that it's grown that much.
Usually at our conventions, there is anywhere from, let's say, 1,800 to 2,000 attendees at our conventions each summer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a great week. It's a week of just being around people who are just like you. We all have that one thing in common.
Yeah, it's that you want to be more people like you.
Right, and we all share in the same struggles.
Right.
We all deal with prejudice.
And that's the main thing is that what you both want to bring out is that we're not different. We're people too. We deserve to be treated like that. We deserve to be treated with respect.
Right.
And that's
we're human beings. We have feelings,
right.
And anybody can give birth to a child. Anybody can give birth to a child who is gay or is transgender.
Mm-hmm.
And that will rock your world. It will change your mind
awesome.
About a lot of things.
And it's been so fun learning about your community. Thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you so much for having me.
And it's been a fun show, and I hope it's been fun for you all out there listening to it. And we'll be back again next week. We're going to be recording again. And our next show, we're going to be doing a topic of sexuality, getting into the actual community.
Interesting.
Yeah, because
that's something I don't actually know a whole lot about, so I will be listening.
That's the reason why we're doing a show on it, because I don't know about really what sexuality is. And I will actually be having somebody with me who is also asexual, We're going to learn all about that in our next show.
I think that's great, Justin.
Thank you, Crystal. So this is Crystal Eggers.
Hi, guys. Thanks for listening.
And my name is Justin Meyer, and thank you for listening today. And back next week on the Be Yourself Show. Everyone have a night.
Bye.